Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the show. Today, I just wanted to hop on real quick and kind of go over some stuff that I've got going on. Last Sunday, we talked about doing a series of rituals to make your life prosperous in 2025. And the goal is to conjure, to do like a 2-week walkthrough of the 7 spheres, taking your stuff up through the 7 spheres, removing any obstacles between you and your desired intent, and then bringing all that down on the next Monday after that to manifest your desires, right? And I was talking about that in our show last week. But I hope I updated the titles on this. Anyway, the idea I had on Sunday was one of those spur of the moment things, and I hadn't really done much to really hammer out the details, to think about what it would look like in real life. And okay, good, I did update the things. Okay, good. To really make this happen. So like, I wanted to have a Facebook group where we could sit around and talk about things. I wanted to have some rituals that are pretty standard on a script and everything. So basically what I did is I put together a class on my site, and it's going to be $125 to be part of it. Let me pull this up here. All right, and it's going to be $125 per person to be a part of it. And what you're going to get is like a PDF that has all the seals in it that we're going to be using, the lamans, the table of practice, a working script that walks you through each of the 7 spheres with the Orphic hymns and the names and seals of the entities. It'll have a plan for you to progress through each of the spheres. It's pretty simple, Monday through Moon Day through Saturn Day, every other day starting on the 16th. The 14th, we'll have a Zoom call. We're going to do a big kickoff, make sure that everybody's ready to go. It'll have an overview of how to put all your stuff together, make sure that you've got your sigil set up that's going to represent your desire, all that stuff. We'll make sure everything's ready to go at the kickoff. Yeah, so after we get that going, we'll walk through the actual 7 spheres. I want to talk about what the class is based on, and so you understand like sort of where this is all coming from. It's not just entirely made up on the fly, right? So if you go to if you go to the page if you go to the rufusopus.com site, you will find, or the link in the comments here, or in the details here, you will find that there is a full-on description of everything that I'm going to be talking about here. It is there for you to review if you don't see this live. But basically, I don't think I can share that particular screen with you because I've got other things going on. But I'm just going to walk you through it. So yeah, it's a group project for conjuring an incredible positive financial change in your life. You'll be doing the magic yourself. It's not something where I do the magic for you necessarily. It's going to be designed for big positive change, right? So for example, my statement of intent, my desired outcome is an AI prompt engineering position, right? And they pay about $325,000 a year. I know I have the skills to do it. It's just a job that was made up like a year ago. It doesn't really exist. And I've been doing it for several companies now, or I guess 2 companies now, Pfizer and my other previous employer. But they I don't have like the credentials, I don't have like training, I don't have a degree in large learning model, whatever, large language model, whatever. So I don't have all the credentials that I would need to actually get my foot in the door. And I've only got a couple of years of experience in AI, but I've got 20 years of experience in all the other IT stuff that this position would need to know to do it. And I've been doing it, so I know I can do it. So I want to get that big paying job, and I figure magic is the way to do it, and it would fund the entire lifestyle that I want, right? So here's the thing. I don't want to do the magic just to get the job, right? I don't really want to work for a living. I do not want to work for a living. I am sure that you can understand that. I want the lifestyle that comes with making $325,000 a year, though. I mean, with everything that's going on with, hello, Astrals. Everything that's going on with all the stuff that is politically and socially right now, it's not a very fun or pleasant time to be leaning left, as it were. And my desire is to get away from threats and people that I don't really want to be around, and I want to have like my own land where I can live off grid and do all that stuff, right? And to do that, I need to have money, and I thought I had all my money lined up to come in, and then I ran into roadblocks and obstacles, and I've done the magic to remove that, but I have to wait for it to come through, and there's processes involved and all this stuff. And I did divination, and I know what to expect with this, and it's not going to be resolved overnight. But it will be resolved eventually according to the cards. But in the meantime, I need an income. So I figured, why not shoot for something huge, right? Why not go for everything? You know, that doesn't mean I'm going to pass up any other offers that come along. I have to pay my bills. I'm not stupid. This is a, what's the thing? It's an experiment. It's a project to see if this magic stuff really is going to be effective for me. But the intent that I have is the full Monty. It's not a the $325,000 a year job is a symbol that I'm bringing to the spirits to indicate the job that I want specifically, yes, but also I will take anything that's comparable. You know what I mean? So I'm using this as an example, a real world example that the spirits can take a look at, understand, wrap their heads around, and work on manifesting for me directly, right? I can give them a job description, a job title. It's very clear and concise. And they're going to be able to know who is looking for these people. They'll be able to put my resume in front of them. They'll be able to design all the opportunities necessary for me to be able to find this job, right? That's out of the box. That's what the Alatori are almost entirely for, the spirits of Mercury, right? So they should be able to do this, no problem, you know. And I'm going to have the rest of the right is mostly about like cleaning out the things that would keep me from being able to get this job, right? My insecurity, my inability to think of the right words in the moment, you know, because sometimes when I'm stressed, I freak out, you know. So I need to get rid of all the things that would sabotage my manifestation, right? So that's why the first 2 weeks of this rite are going up through the 7 spheres, and specifically in each of these 7 rites. And I'm telling you all this stuff so you guys can do it at home on your own if you want to do it at home on your own. I'm laying out the whole framework here because the system I use, and then I'm going to use in this class thing or this project thing where you pay to be a part of it, it's based on standard planetary magic principles. Okay, this is stuff that I think people should be able to figure out on their own. I figured it out. I'm not. People tell me I'm smart. I don't know. I don't think I'm that smart. I think I'm kind of dumb compared to all the smart people I know. I don't think I have super keen insight on all this stuff. I just think I see it, it makes sense, and I'm able to put it into words that people somehow seem to like. Hey, Diana, how's it going? The system is just taking your idea up through the 7 spheres and then bringing it back down. It's based on the Emerald Tablet. I was watching last night that the Emerald Tablet translation that I use, where is that anyway? I think I have that here. I don't have everything that I've ever done, but I have a lot of the things I've done, and I had a whole video about the Emerald Tablet of Hermes. Yeah, here it is. Let me see if it's... I haven't looked at it in a while. I'm not sure if all my stuff is here, but I think it is. Because I have to bring it up to the right layer. It's a little... Okay, here we go. Okay. On and turn off. That, okay. All right, so here we see it. Emerald Tablet. Okay, so yeah, this is actually the stuff I was talking about. All right, so how about that? How convenient is it when things actually work? Don't get used to it, Josh. Don't get used to it. It's not going to always be that way. Okay. All right, so yeah. All right, so the Emerald Tablet of Hermes is that's an alchemical manuscript that basically has the outline of what we do as magicians, and it's you travel up through the seven spheres, and you return in power. Okay, so this is like this archaic formula for creating the Philosopher's Stone. It's how you create the Philosopher's Stone happens to be also the way that you ascend through the heavens and create the world, and that's all over here in. It starts over here in 8. It ascends from ye earth to ye heaven, and again it descends in ye earth, and receives ye force of things superior and inferior. By this means you shall have all ye glory of ye whole world, and thereby all obscurity shall fly from you. Its force is above all force, blah, 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 blah. All right, so anyway, verses 8 through whatever, you get down to the end of it, and it says, thus was the world created. All right, so rising through the spheres, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be going through this is from the graphic you're seeing now is from the Corpus Hermeticum. In the Corpus Hermeticum, in the Divine Pymander, we have an explanation of what the spirit goes through after they die. They rise up through the seven spheres, and each of the spheres they release the powers of that sphere as they return to their source, right? And specifically the negative aspects of those powers of those spheres, the stuff that gets corrupted here in the earth. Okay, and it's those corrupt things that keep us from manifesting the powers of the spheres cleanly, clearly, concisely, powerfully, all that stuff, in my opinion. And it's these corruptions that we're working on in the great work to eliminate so that we can focus our powers more cleanly, right? So in each of the seven spheres, as you rise after you die, you're supposed to lose one of these seven powers, or one of these tainted powers of the spheres. So in the first zone, you give the energy of growth. Hello, Caribbean Grimoire. Okay, yeah. So under the second zone, okay. So in each of these zones, as you rise through the spheres, you release the energy of growth and waning in the moon, the device of evils, now de-energized in the third, or I'm sorry, in the second. That's Mercury. The what they call it. The guile of the desires de-energized. That's concupiscence, all right. The lies of lust that cloud our vision. You give that up in Venus. So all the negative aspects of the powers of the spheres you release on your way up through the seven spheres. And then once you get to the 8th sphere, you're clean, you're cleansed, you've gotten rid of everything that's negative and corrupted. And then on the following Monday, all right. So we're gonna. This class thing is designed so that every one of these, Monday through Saturday, let me see, what's the calendar here? Sorry. 6th. All right, so we're going to start on Saturday the 14th. Okay, so Saturday the 14th, we're going to start. The following Monday is the 16th, and we're going to kick off the moon thing then, and we're going to do a simple conjuration of the moon. We're going to using the Trithemian method and the conjuration rite that I have on my site. You basically you conjure you say the Orphic hymn of the planet, and then you conjure the intelligence of the planet, and then you use your statement of intent to phrase what you want to have happen, and then you release the spirit to go to work. You spend a moment in contemplation, receiving any information back from the spirit. And then you release the spirit to continue to cleanse your sphere of those aspects of that power as you go forward. So Monday the 16th, we'll have the moon, and we'll do a conjuration of Gabriel, and we'll do the Orphic hymn to Selene and the moon, and then and Hecate, and probably also Artemis. So on the moon day, we cover all our bases. We'll release the energy of growth and waning, any corruptions around waxing and waning that we have in our manifestation sphere. We're going to get rid of that. We'll spend Monday and Tuesday letting the spirit do their work. We'll talk about it in our yacht. Oh, by the way, I'm going to have a Facebook group too. There's going to be a Facebook group for people to talk about what's going on. So we'll talk about it Monday and Tuesday, and then Wednesday we'll do Mercury, and we'll do the release of the device of evils. Again, it's the intelligence, the Orphic hymn to the god of the planet, the statement of intent to release the device of evils. We'll be using different language than this. I don't know where I got that from, but I don't like this translation, but there's a better translation at sacredtext.com. If you look at Pymander, the Divine Pymander in the Corpus Hermeticum. Anyway, these are the powers of the spheres, and we'll continue that every other day. So Wednesday is Mercury, Friday will be Venus, Sunday will be the Sun. Let's see, Tuesday would be Mars, Thursday would be Jupiter, and then Saturday we'll be doing Saturn, right? So that Saturday is going to be the I have the schedule here on the site. Saturday the 28th we do Saturn, right? And then the following Monday, again on a moon day, it's the full moon. The full moon is on calendar. Okay, the full moon is on December 15th. Okay, so December 15th is the full moon. December 16th kicks off the new moon. So we're going to do the ascent through the 7 spheres during the waning period of the moon, right? So full moon is the 15th. Monday kicks off the waning moon. We're waning all the way through the 28th. And Saturday we have the Saturn, right? We're done with the ascension. We've cleansed our spheres. We're ready to receive the power renewed and abundant. And then on the 30th, Monday the 30th, it's the new moon. So it works out perfectly. So on Monday, it's a new moon. We're going to conjure all 7 archangels in the lunar hour. We're going to draw down the powers of each of those spheres to manifest our statement of intent, our desired outcome. For me, the AI engineering, prompt engineer position, right? And specify that it's for $325,000 a year, specify that it is for, or equivalent, right? So I want to make sure that the spirits understand that it's not just the specific intent that I want, but also any other thing that is more suited to me that results in the same desired intention that I haven't thought of. Okay, because I think I'm pretty smart when it comes to figuring out what I want to do with my life, but I often miss clues that I get from the spirits because I'm stubborn and I don't always think about things. I don't think about things from every perspective. I have learned to trust the spirits to let me know if there's something better than what I have intended for myself. Okay, I will cut myself off of rewards and a prosperity because I don't think I deserve it, right? I've got mental issues. It's stupid. It's dumb. But if I ask the spirits to show me what they're working on so that I don't miss the opportunities, I see them. I see them as they present themselves. And it's not as much of a frustrating experience for me, right? So, yeah. Anyway, we'll be asking the spirits, part of the statement of intent will be to make sure that they show us how they're manifesting this for us in our lives. This is the big deal, right? This is like the money shot. The lunar right on this Monday, the 28th, is going to be an amazing time. Whether you participate in this class or not, you should probably do some new year, new me ritual stuff on that new moon, because that's the first new moon of our new year. We're going to be in that waxing period as we go into January, and the seeds you plant on the new moon are going to have more of a likelihood to grow fruit and be really prosperous for you. So it's incredibly good timing. I wanted to just start last Monday, and I do want to give you guys an update on where I'm at with my stuff. So Friday I found out that I needed to get a day job, and next week I'm having an interview that would, if I get the position, I mean, it's not the one that I want. It's not the $300,000 a year job I want. But almost immediately, I've gotten several opportunities for things to cover my expenses in the meantime. So I don't want people to think that this is a pie in the sky kind of thing that you do, and if it doesn't work, you're just going to be homeless. It's not going to save your life. This is the kind of thing you do to add to your life and increase it, right, and make it much better. But it's not something you. It could take. So what I expect to happen is in the 2 weeks after we do the ritual, we're going to see opportunities in abundance. We're going to see new opportunities will come our ways. We'll meet new people. We will see new things. We'll have new interests spark our attention. It's It's going to be a series of serendipitous events. It's going to be a series of unexpected coincidences. You'll find if you follow your heart, you're going to be seeing. You're just going to feel these inspirations from our invisible friends in the other world to prompt you to follow up on new things, to get new experiences and results in your life, right? So after that, in that 2-week period, that's when people miss their magic, right? That's when we do magic, we miss the things that the spirits are doing for us, because we forget, we're blind because we haven't finished our own initiation processes, whatever. We might not be ready for it, right? Maybe we're not ready for it. Well, guess what? You get ready for it by doing it, and just because you're not ready for it yet, you will be if you get the job. So you ask the spirits to cover that, to bridge that little gap, because we can figure this shit out. It's not rocket science. I mean, even rocket science isn't rocket science to a rocket scientist. It's just rocket science. It's just science. If you do it all the time, it's just math. Whatever. Fancy math people. All right, anyway, point is, yeah, we're working on manifesting all that stuff on that. You're right. I don't really remember what my point was. But the thing is, if you take part in this class or not, again, it's $125 to be a part of it. Right. The Facebook group is going to be something that's super supportive, I think, for people who are going through that 2-week period after they do their manifestation ritual. That's what I was talking about. So in the 2-week period after you do your ritual, that's when the opportunities come in for the things that you've asked for. Okay, we're going to be doing it at the beginning of the waning moon. I'm sorry, at the beginning of the waxing moon. So everything's going to start growing into being around us. And as it does, we need to be paying attention to seize the opportunities as they come into being for us. Oops, not that. Okay, so that is our overview and our plan for the Conjuring a Prosperous Life with Planetary Magic. I think I've gone over it. Oh yeah, so after the 2-week period is over, at the end of the class, at the end of the course session, we're going to have a final Zoom meeting to do lessons learned. So this is a project. Okay, it's a project of a prosperity rite. It's a group ritual. I'm going to include that we're going to bless each other as we are blessed. We're going to continue to not only manifest our own desires, but we're going to ask the spirits to manifest the desires of our fellow cohorts, cohort members, I guess, our fellow prosperity conjuring people, based on the Gents for Jupiter thing that we used to do, where we would bless each other. It's hopefully it's going to be a smallish group of people. I've limited it to 13. I don't expect it to be all 13 people saucily filled. A lot of people aren't going to have time for it right now. It's the holidays. You need to devote yourself to doing these rituals. Okay, I'm gonna provide. So the hypnotic initiation thing I'm offering. I'm going to be recording. I have most of this recording pieces that it would take to put together a hypnotic induction for this whole thing. I can throw that together pretty quickly. So my plan is to throw that together and have another hypnotic ritual where I actually do the ritual. I conjure the spirits and I record myself doing it, and then I put that part into a hypnosis thing where I hypnotize you, take you to a sacred place where you can perform a ritual, and then I basically, within your visualization, I tell you, you are speaking the words. You are the magician who speaks these words, and these are the words that you speak of the ritual. And then I'll do the ritual, and you'll hear the voices, my voice, my words coming through your own mouth in the visualization. And it's like you're doing it yourself, right? It's not doing it yourself necessarily, but it's like that. It's not to take the place of you doing the ritual yourself, though. You got to do the ritual yourself. I'm not doing the ritual for you. This is just the hypnotic piece is really just sort of like gravy. It's to make the $125 worth it. It does add a certain something. Anyway, we'll go through the results of all that stuff. We'll talk about it, and then I'll compile everybody's experiences, and we'll do a lessons learned on the 11th of January. So like I said, this is going to be limited to like 13 people. I just wanted to do an introduction of it today and get like the core outline of what it's going to look like out and about. People are going to think about it, talk about it, and come back with questions and conversations about things. If you go to the page where you can sign up for the course, there's a form that you can submit questions, or if you're interested in doing it but you can't do it in this cohort, I mean, if you want, I can do it again later if there's enough interest. Nicole thinks I should do it once a month. I think that would be fun. I'd be down for it. But it's a 2-week commitment is the problem. Oh, another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be doing my daily mantra. And I really do believe that pursuing my source has been a key empowering technique that I can't emphasize enough. So every day I try to sit down and do my Zeus Ho Kephale, Zeus Ho Mesos, Zeus Ho Ponto Krator. That's all I say over and over again, 108 times. And I try to do it every day. I don't do it every day, but for the course of this for this session, I will. I'm actually just going to do it here in my thing. It should be in the description. Diana's asking for where the sign up is, but on my homepage, rufusopus.com, there's a link to the actual page, but also in the description on this video, you should be able to see it. I think. I might need to add it to the description. Anyway, if it's not there, I'll add it to the comment on Facebook. So yeah, that's all I really want to talk about today, is just sort of go over what the ritual is going to look like. If anybody has any questions, either if you can just submit them to me through the form on the site. I'm going to check the emails once a week. I'm terrible at checking emails, so I'm going to try to check the emails once a week. But for the next couple of weeks, I'll check it every couple of days. But it's not going to start until the 14th. Give you some time to figure out if you want to be a part of it or not. You're going to need to come up with a sigil for your intent. You need to figure out what you want. It needs to be something outlandishly big. It needs to be something huge that changes every aspect of your life. It needs to be incredibly prosperous, right? Something that is that's reasonable, rational, but it would take a miracle for it to come true for you, right? That's what I'm looking for. I want a miraculous series of events that abundantly blesses me in every way, right? Like beyond my wildest dreams. I want the whole enchilada, right? And if I can get that, great. And if not, what I really expect to happen from this ritual is I'm going to see new opportunities come my way. I'm going to open the gates to manifest that result. And I don't know if I'm going to see the results in the first 2 weeks, but I will see the results that lead to that path if I take the steps as a result of this magic. I know that's a fact, and it's going to be true for everybody. It is not going to necessarily get you the lottery results. I don't think that ever works for magicians. If it does, it's like $5 here, $2 there. I've never seen anybody win the Powerball and consistently. There is a Wiccan in Baltimore that won the Powerball, or one of the big lotteries, and he bought the Androck Frey, that ADF group. He bought their property for him and gave it to him as part of his winnings. It was pretty cool. But that's the only occultist I know who ever won the lottery, and I do believe he was broke within 5 or 10 years. I shouldn't say that because I don't know for sure that's true. I remember hearing rumors that he was in financial difficulty not long after that, as many winners of the lottery are. So anyway, point being, winning the lottery, if it works, it never seems to work out well for the person who does it. So I would definitely not expect that. I've never won the lottery, obviously, but I have won the lottery metaphorically with every other aspect of my life lately, and so why not go for this too? Anyway, do feel free to be a part of that. Let's see. Diana says, even though I anticipate interruptions, I'm caring for a family member that's been health compromised. Okay, so you shouldn't need to do more than 2 hours a day on this, right? So every other day. It's not every day. I mean, the mantra takes me about 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how fast I say it. I've been using a metronome, so it's a little bit more consistent, but it's not as fun. Anyway, the mantra can take anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour, depending on how slow you say it. I want to say it's usually half an hour, but sometimes it's longer. You don't have to say all of it. I do 54 frequently because so Zeus Ho Kephale, Zeus Ho Mesos, Zeus Ho Ponto Krator. That's a 9-word mantra. You know, my wife is a Hecateon, and she does Jason Miller's Eo Heka Eo Ho. Eo Heka Eo Ho. Eo Heka. It's so short. Then I can get through like let's see. I get through Zeus Ho Kefa. Zeus Ho Kefa. I get there. Lay Zeus Ho. Lay Zeus Ho. I can get to Lay Zeus Ho. Zeus Ho Kefa Lay Zeus Ho is as far as I can get in the same amount of time it takes her to do Eo Heka Eo Ho. So it takes me about twice as long as her, is what I'm saying. And if you're going to do this mantra with me every day, set aside some time for it, because it can take a while. And don't feel bad if you can only do half of it in half an hour, because time constraints. The ritual itself is a 20-minute ritual. It's going to be hypnosis. The hypnosis thing you can listen to every other day. I'm going to release them one at a time, so that people don't do them all at once, because people do them all at once. Whatever, one at a time is what you should do them in, so you do them one at a time. Anyway, we're going to release them all one at a time, I mean, and you need to go through them each day. It's 20 minutes. It will count towards the manifestation. It's not going to be as good as if you do it, okay? Material-wise, you're going to need to at least draw a table of practice. You're going to need to use your finger or a wand. You're going to need a candle. You're going to need at least a candle and a stick of incense. Something to scry in, like either a crystal ball or a cup of water, or something that you're comfortable with. You should have already done some magic before, I think, for this to be truly effective for you. This can't be your first introduction to magic. This is sort of an intermediate to, well, it's kind of advanced, to be honest. But you don't need to be advanced. You don't have to be an initiate to make this happen. It's just initiates are going to have a better understanding of what's going on, basically. Anyway, yeah, so you're going to need a table of practice, a wand, a stick of incense, and a candle for each of the rituals that you do on your own. You're going to need to draw a laman. The lamans are very easy to draw. I'll give you a blank that you can print off and fill in the blanks. I want you to write them by hand. At the very least, write them by hand, you know, because it puts a little bit of you into it, and you feel what it's like to trace those seals, because it matters a lot. If you're just going to print them off, you have to at least trace over them with a pen in the planetary hour that they're supposed to be made in. Okay, otherwise you're just kind of wasting your time, and you're wasting whatever. That's your money. But take the time to, at the very least, trace over these things if you just print them out. It's important that your muscles incorporate that symbol. It's it's Zeus Ho Kephale, Zeus Ho Mesos, Zeus Ho Pantocrator. It's mind, emotions, mentality, and persona, and body. It's head, heart, flesh. You gotta be a part of all that stuff. So tracing the symbols makes it part of your muscle memory. It incorporates it in your physical world. So drawing them makes it even more real for you. The experience of creating these things is an initiation. Can't stress that enough. Nothing takes the place of that. You can buy people's talismans and their blessings will flow through on you, but if you make your own, oh my God, they're a part of you. They're an extension of your will to change the world. That's why it's encouraged, right? Definitely buy my stuff. I can make things you can't. I can bless things you can't, but you can trace over the seals yourself. You can do rituals to make them your own. You can connect to these things and take them as your own. You know, you can do the ceremonies to own them, but it's not the same as making them. I don't think. I prefer to make my own stuff, for sure. But I sell stuff, so what am I going to do? No, don't buy my stuff. No, I'm trying not to be an idiot like that, but it's hard. Let's see, Joey, is it going to be live? So there's going to be a live thing where I do the mantra every day. I'm just going to come over here and start streaming, and I'm sorry. Zeus Ho Kephale, Zeus Ho Mesos, Zeus Ho Pantocrator. That'll be live. There's going to be the hypnosis sessions. I'm not going to do the rituals live for anybody, but yeah, I will record the hypnosis sessions, and you can walk through it, and then you're going to do your own rituals in the planetary hour as well, hopefully. And then, yeah. We do the discussion group. I think the discussion group is going to help people a lot. So I think honestly, where we start talking about our experiences and you see, like I'll tell you what's going on with me Like every day I'll make a post, at least one, and I'll tell you what's going on and report on events, so you can see how I see my magic working for me. And then you guys can talk about your own post. You can make your own post, or comment on other people's posts, or whatever. We can do a daily post that everybody can comment on if you want, so because some people are shy and are it's easier to comment than it is to post for some reason, whatever. I don't care. But we'll have a way to actually give you an opportunity to interact with other people doing it, and seeing it manifest can give you clues. So many people do magic and they're like, it didn't work, or I didn't see it, and I see other people say, oh, it always works, but you don't always get it, and it's almost 100% because people expect six-winged beast with armpits full of eyeballs to show up and say, here is your $25 to make your rent, sir. It's not that. It's never that. And because you don't know what to expect, you miss when it actually manifests. So talking to other magicians is key to kind of understanding what's going on when you're trying to get a hang on things. Please slow mantra down and sort of spell it out-ish. Yeah, Diana, I will give you a document that says what the actual mantra is. So this session includes a full script. You don't just have to pay attention to the videos and hope that you caught it on the way. You'll have everything I'm saying as part of the ritual in the PDF. It's not going to be anything left to chance. So, and then that I'm gonna formally close the session on January 11th when we do our kickoff meeting, or I'm sorry, our lessons learned meeting. We'll encapsulate all of our results so far and do next steps. So like, if you've missed an opportunity, or if things haven't manifested for you the right way, or if to get to the $300,000 a year AI job, I actually ended up getting an opportunity to take a few classes and get some credentials that'll pad my resume and open the door for me as a result of that, then I'll do more magic to get through those classes faster, right? So at the end of our initial 2 weeks after the thing, we'll do a reassessment of where we're at, and we'll have a group session where we talk about things, and you can figure out what your next steps are based on what you've gotten so far. Okay, so this is sort of like a group practice, make your life great session. It's going to be, I think it's going to be very educational and entertaining, and when it works, we're all going to be rich, right? I mean, hey. But again, that's not the. I don't want to sell the class as you're definitely going to get out of this everything that you ever wanted. I can't promise that. It doesn't always work, and I blame the people. It's just very convenient for me to blame the victim, but it doesn't mean that it's true, accurate, or fair to everybody involved. So I've tried to do this in as fair a way as possible. What you're buying is the PDF, the hypnotic walkthrough of the rituals, the access to the Facebook discussion group, and the 2 Zoom meetings. That's what you get for the $125. Everything that we're going to be talking about and doing, it's not going to be as organized for you, but I'm going to be talking about it in videos along the way. All right, so like public videos, I'm going to be saying, hey, everybody, this is just the intro to the course. Probably Sunday, I'm going to talk about the preparations we're going to need to do, like how to figure out what you want, how to set up a sigil for it, how to focus your intentions on it, right? I'll do a class, I'll do a public thing about how to do the up through the spheres, and more detail about each of the spheres and what to do. So I don't want this to be something that's inaccessible to the public, but at the same time, I want the people who are paying for it to get something good out of it. And I don't want to spend a lot of time supporting people who aren't going to do shit with it. I'm going to be frank. Everybody fucking wants everything free, and nobody wants to do the goddamn work, and then they bitch at me when it doesn't work, and I don't feel like dealing with that. But if you have to pay $125 to play, you're gonna do the work. You're gonna pay attention, and you're gonna participate. And you're gonna bring something useful to the table, in my opinion. That's just been my experience for over 22 years now in this occult industry, whatever. A culture, you don't do the work if you don't pay for it. Prove me wrong. Do the work on the side in parallel. So the information that I use to do this magic stuff, I got for free from esotericarchives.com, from Sacred Text, from conversations on groups with smart people, and it took me a long time to filter it all out. What I provide is a condensed version based on my opinions and all that stuff. Anyway, you're paying for my experience in this distillation process, but everything out there, I figured it out. It's not rocket science. It really isn't. It's 16th century takes on really ancient stuff that goes back to when our brains were still forming. You know, it's part of our DNA. The things that they're talking about, it's just an expression of it that makes more sense. So anyway, point is definitely buy my stuff and take part in it, because it's a condensed and more focused version than you're going to get on your own. But at the same time, if you can't do it right now, or I mean, I'm going to keep offering throughout the year, but if you can't do it right now, do at least do it sometime. You know, do something like this in your life. Why not? You know, but anyway, I'll try to provide enough information for everybody to be able to do it on their own without being a part of the course. However, in the course, it'll be a lot more focused, and you'll have access to all the fancy bells and whistles. All right. Are the Zoomies already set schedule-wise? Yes, they are 4 p.m. on schedule. 4 p.m. Where's my calendar? I'm sorry, everything is hard. Dun, dun, dun. All right, December 2024. It doesn't have anything here. All right. Here it is, Saturday the 14th at 4 to 5 p.m. on Saturday the 14th, and then January 11th at 4 to 5 p.m. and that's Pacific time. So yeah, 4 to 5 p.m. Pacific on the 11th for the wrap up. Okay, so yes, so I think that's all the questions I have so far. If you guys have more questions, use the form on the site. There should be links in the description to the video, and if not, I'll put it in the comments. All right, take care, have a great afternoon, and I will probably talk to you either tomorrow or Sunday about next steps in this, because I do think this is going to be a lot of fun. And also, I want to talk about all the cool things that happened to me. Oh my gosh, it's just been one positive thing after another over the last week. It's been, it's just super exciting, and yeah. Anyway, I will talk to you all later. Have a good afternoon, and if Friday night.